Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I will be showing you how to create the route and transfer it over to Garmin GPS. I don't mean here to create under a trip planner or route planner, because that's pretty tedious way. I like to set up my route on a computer and then move it over to the Garmin GPS. I have a couple routes here that's set up for this year, my trip coming up in May. So I have multiple days broken down into 400 to 500 kilometer stretches. So each day is recorded here separately, and that's something I want to show you how to do that and how to access that. So basically, when you click on the route, it will open it, show you the preview, and from here shows you the first distance. I've been using Garmin GPS for quite some time. Pretty much since I ever had a bike. First I had just a regular car GPS that was mounted on a motorcycle. Then when I got my Africa Twin, I got a Garmin 595 LM, and that decided to quit beginning of this year. It's in a repair shop. I'll see if they're gonna fix it or not, but for time being I ended up upgrading it to the Garmin Zumo XT2. This is much more faster GPS comparing to the previous one. It's got so many nice features. The screen is nice and clear. Let's jump onto the computer and I'll show you what's required. So first of all, you will need to sign up with Garmin Explore and create an account there. It's totally free. Then you can log into the software, or you can log into the website and access the map. Also, you will need Garmin Explore app on your phone. This way all the stuff that you're doing, whether it's on a computer or on an app, it will sync into your Garmin GPS. I'll show you. So you click Explore, and that's where everything is going to be located. Okay, so here we are in a computer browser, and first thing what we want to do is to go to Garmin Explore website. The website is loading a little bit longer. So I also have a InReach device and a plan with that. Here you have all your control options. You can change the plans and everything else like that, but you gotta sign in right here on the right hand corner to log into the website and click on Maps. Alright, so there we are. So this is all your navigation, and here I have my San Francisco trip that is planned out. I have tracks and I have routes in here. So this is your main library, and here you can create collections. So we'll start with doing a collection by clicking the plus icon and name the collection. I'll name it very simple. It's gonna be a test trip to Yellowstone National Park, and on the bottom you click next and save the collection. Alright, I will make that pretty simple. I'm gonna just plan a couple days from Calgary to Yellowstone. Normally, if I would take that route, I would be taking it through Glacier National Park, but I will not be doing this because at this time of the year that road is closed, and we're gonna get an error that it's not possible to route that, because I tried this in the past. So first of all, we want to change that to road map. This way we will see the actual roads. If you want to plan the tracks, you can do that. So that's the option to insert your waypoints and tracks when you are going off-road, off the beaten path. Let's start it again from the city center. And basically you can click as many points as you wish. So we will follow Highway 2 down south to the border. And if you see right in this square where I'm dragging the mouse, it tells you how many kilometers that particular track is going to be, more or less. I like to keep it between 400 and 500 kilometers per day. This way you have enough time to see stuff and stop and see anything that's on the way that could be interesting. So we're gonna go to Fort McLeod, then carry on number 2 toward Cardston, and we have 2 options here actually. We can go to Carway, or we can go a little bit more east towards Sweetgrass or Coots border, but we will come in this way, come back the other way. So we'll cross the border to USA in Carway, and we'll follow US State Route 89, leaving the Glacier National Park on our west side on the left. And that takes us here to I-15. So we're already 427 kilometers. And we can call it a day here in Vaughan, Montana. So if you want to get rid of this now and make it your stop, click on the square one more time, and that will give you the option to name your route. In this case, we'll put it as a test route day 1 and confirm that. So now that route is saved. Now we have to move that to our collection. In order to do that, you open the collection, which we named it as a test trip to Yellowstone, and we'll click on routes, add routes to collection, and here we have to find that test route day 1 on the bottom, save collection. It takes a moment because that has to synchronize with the server. So let's expand this a little bit, and we'll start in the same location when we ended the previous day. So we'll take through Great Falls towards Belt, and we'll start heading on the US State Highway 89, White Sulphur Springs. Then we'll cross over I-90 towards Livingston. And we want to end the day, I would say, somewhere on Mammoth. That's at the entrance of Yellowstone. There is some camping available. There's KOA campground as well. I stayed at this campground. And that's 363 kilometers. That should be good enough for a second day. We'll double click that one more time, and we'll call it a test route day 2 and confirm. Now we gotta add that to our collection and save it. Now we can zoom it in a little bit more so we can see the actual Yellowstone loop. So right here we have the Yellowstone loop that you can go around towards Tower Junction, Devil's Den, Canyon Village, all the way to Yellowstone Lake. And right here somewhere there's Old Faithful geyser, and you can come back to Mammoth. Or what I will do, I will on a second day make this loop and head out to Grand Teton and come back from there. So let's do another day here. From Mammoth we'll go to Devil's Den, take this around. If you're in Yellowstone National Park, I would recommend giving yourself like at least 3-4 days. That's a minimum in order to explore not everything, but to see a lot. If you want to see everything, you would have to spend way more than a week in there, if not two. Depends how much walking you want to do, but there's a lot of little walkways close from the main roads to see all the attraction, geysers and springs, mud volcanoes and stuff like that. So here we can follow the Yellowstone Lake. We can move towards the Grand Teton. And go all the way to Jackson. So that's 225 kilometer. Even though it's just a short stretch, but you can leave it as a day because there's a lot of stuff to see on a way. Unless you want to quickly zoom through the park, it's up to you, but we'll call it a day 3. And you can change the color of the route. Like my previous one, original trip that I have planned for this year was in blue. This one I chose to be red. So we confirm that. So from here I have a couple different options. I can take it back to I-15 and start heading north from there. Or if you want to explore on the other side of the Yellowstone, we can start in Jackson again. So that's what I will do. But before we do that, let's add this to our collection, the day 3, and save it to the collection. So let's start it again from Jackson, Wyoming to Moose, and here we can take the other side of the Teton, which is, I'm gonna zoom it in so you can see, this is the Teton Park Road, which is closed November to May, so that will not open again until May, but that's okay. We might not be able to open that track on a GPS, but we'll see, because it's not gonna be drivable. I'm gonna zoom out now to cover that. So here you'll go around the Teton National Park, or Grand Teton. A lot of stops on the way for viewing. There's a Jackson Lake Dam, and we're back to Yellowstone entrance again. So here we'll follow again the 191. So we're only at 67 kilometers on a day 4 for now. Moose Falls, and we will head west on US State Highway 191. So now again we have an option. We can go to US State 20 if you don't want to go back to the park, but there's lots of stuff to see. Might as well carry on around the park here. And I'll zoom in again. So here, as you see, there's a lot of different attractions on the way. And if you haven't been in the Yellowstone National Park, I strongly recommend it. There's a campground coming up. I would recommend making reservations because those campgrounds are quite packed during the peak time, or pretty much all the time. Mammoth Hot Springs, so we're back to Mammoth, and we're crossing back to Montana from Wyoming. So at this point we are 225 kilometers back north. Another campground coming up, and follow the 89 towards I-90. So we are 300 kilometers at this point. Now we have a choice. We can go back the same way, or we can take the interstate here for a little bit. And here we could call it another day around the lake. Click it one more time, and we will call it test day 4 and confirm. Now go back, add routes, and add the day 4 to the collection. Alright, and we'll plan one more day here. So we'll go to Helena from the starting point where we slept last night, go back to Great Falls, and stay north on the I-15 towards Sweetgrass, Montana and Coutts, Canada border, and we can come back different ways. So we can go to Lethbridge and go towards Vulcan. If you're a Star Trek fan, something nice to see. We'll zoom it in a little bit. Go towards Mosley, and we can come back towards the other side and back home. Click again. It will be day 5. In reality, that's many more days, but you can actually do that accordingly to the mileage if you just want to ride instead of sightseeing and enjoy the places. You can just drive through them or ride through them quickly and have a different kind of trip, but that would be much of an adventure, of course. So we'll select the confirm to save the route, and we'll add that to the collection as well. Day 5 and save to the collection. So now we have those days separated. If you want to share that with somebody, there is an option as well. So you can click on a route, for example in this case, and right on this side here you have 2 options. You can, if you get a GPX file from someone, you can import it here. That's an import, and here you can export it. So if I click that, now it asks me if I want a KML file or GPX file. So I click GPX, for example, and that will export that file. I'm not gonna save that right now, I don't need that, just wanted to show you. So at this point we're pretty much done, and we can get out of here and open the phone app to see if we have all the same details on the phone. So now we'll go to the mobile device and we will go to the Garmin Explorer. It might take a moment. Actually, it's already here, I can see it. So here I have my collections. This is the newest one right here. Right here we have all the test 5 days. So if I click on a day here, click on the 3 dots, I can view it on the map. As you see, the red track shows me and going across towards I-15 and down. So that's how it looks on a mobile device. So the next step would be going into your Garmin Thread app, and here we're gonna see the same thing what we saw in Garmin Explorer. So we're gonna go to saved, and here we have the trips or collections. So we'll click on a test trip to Yellowstone National Park, and we have our 5 days. So when you click on that, you can click edit the route, and that will actually show you and recalculate everything. So you open each day just to make sure that it's showing up. As you see, it's doing the calculation right there, and here on those 3 dots you have options to select it like as a popular path and hills and curves, add it more as an adventure route. So we'll click on that, and that it's going to be synced in Zumo. Here it's showing us the day 1 of our route. So now I will open the same thing on my Garmin, so you can go through each day and verify and check if you want to create more adventurous route. You can also do that within the Garmin unit itself. Alright, so now I turned the Garmin into a dark mode so you can actually see it. It wasn't showing clear. So from here I can click on my apps and go to my routes, and here is my San Francisco trips, but here we have the test route. So we got day 1, we can click that, and that will open the day. You can zoom it in to see it more or details on your route. You can also edit the information right here, so you can go faster, you can create adventure route. If you click the adventure, it gives you the difficulty level, so you can change that however you want it, and less difficult, and click done and confirm and save. And now we have a first day 646, so that made it a little bit easier. if you want to modify that in any way. If not, you can leave it the way it was. So now you click go and click OK. That will calculate the route. All you do is click start. Navigation is gonna start from here. Again, turn it into a white screen. That's gonna be kind of harder to see. Let's decrease the level here of brightness. View map, and there we are. Hopefully you can see that. Right now we have no GPS because we're in the basement, but once you get a GPS, it will pull the information in here. So this is how you create a map and move it over to your Garmin device, whether it's a Zumo XT. It's going to be similar with the Zumo XT. You're not going to be able to open in Garmin Thread, but Zumo XT2 has the option to open the files from Garmin Thread. You can also create a route in there in Garmin Thread, but that's a little bit more challenging using the app, as I mentioned. That's why I wanted to show you how it's done on a computer. That will be it for this video. I hope it was helpful to some of you. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, put the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.